What is up, guys? It's your boy Torius, back again with another video. And today I'm talking about how it's not society's fault that you're undesirable, right? So smash the like button, comment below what you think, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. So yeah, a lot of times we think that like it's society's fault that we don't get women, or for girls, you don't get men. There's no good men out here, there's no good women. But honestly, you know, our world is just a reflection of ourselves, right? Like right now I see this. It's pretty outside. And I feel like, you know, the reason I'm seeing it is how I'm feeling, right? Like I'm feeling a certain way, so my world reflects that, right? So when your world reflects, the outer reflects the inner, right? And however you're feeling inside is however you feel outside, right? And you know, I used to think I was ugly, right? I used to say to myself, oh, I'm ugly, yada yada yada. But I realized it's because other people were telling me that, right? That's pretty much why. And you know, the thing is, I started changing how I think about myself, right? I remember when I started really getting girls, like when I started noticing I was like hanging out with a girl, like a new girl, like every day, every 2 days or whatever. I started noticing it was because I was changing how I was thinking, right? I was thinking of myself like, honestly, I was like seeing myself as like girl standards, right? Because girls always want to be pretty and be good looking, all this shit, right? And dudes will clown you if you're ugly. Girls will clown you if you're ugly. And once I started like, I was listening to a lot of dating coaches, and there were what was good about listening to dating coaches is that they made me feel better about myself, right? They made me feel better about my situation. They gave me hope, basically, because in society we're told like, oh, you have to have this, you have to have that, you gotta look a certain way, right? For me, I don't know why, like I just always thought that looks was the end all be all, right? It was all about how you look. But then I started realizing it's not about how you look, it's about how you think you look, right? So if you just think that you look good, you just think, okay, I'm a good looking dude, right? You start seeing that other people around you look good, right? Like let's say you're a nerd. A lot of times we become nerds just because we're locked up in the head, right? We're stuck in our heads thinking about shit, thinking. We're always thinking, right? A lot of times you just gotta stop thinking. Like it's not possible to stop thinking, but just stop looking at your thoughts, right? I went my whole life looking at my thoughts, right? Like I've been in my head all my life, and I just like never really leave it. And I'm just like, damn, that's crazy that there's more to just being in the head. I feel like that's what society says to not do drugs, right? Why society says don't do drugs, because drugs allow you to leave your head when society keeps you trapped in there, right? We're trapped in our heads. The drugs make us see that we can go beyond our head, right? We can go to our hearts, we can go into our stomachs, we can go into our dicks, right? We can go into all that stuff. Society allows us to see that, right? And what happens is, you know, once we see that we're able to do that, we stop being in our heads so much. We start living life how it's supposed to be, going by intuition, right? Going by what we feel, going by what we know is right. So when we're trapped in our heads, we get very much influence. Like the head is for programming, right? Our minds are for building society. It's like an ant. Like ants, they build tunnels, they build like, you know, it's what's best for the queen, right? What's best for the colony. Ants die for the colony. Fish die for the school. Bees die for the hive, right? It's all that same mentality. It's like we gotta sacrifice ourselves for the good of the society. Like there's nothing wrong with that, because it makes us all be better. Like we wouldn't have this park, we wouldn't have my car, we wouldn't have this basketball, we wouldn't have none of that stuff if we didn't do this, right? But sometimes, you know, it is detrimental to our livelihood, right? Because we always want to live our best lives, but our best lives isn't really necessarily lived in our head, because then we think too much. When we think too much, we're fucking up our lives because it stops us from living our best life, right? It stops us from being brave. It stops us from being able to process our emotions and all that shit. Where am I going with this, Torius? Where are you going with this? Basically, where I'm going with it is that we are conditioned to believe that we're not enough, because the less we are, the more we need products that people are buying, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm over here. I'm the first one to try to make a buck off someone, right? But it's you gotta see past all that whole, oh, it's because I was born this way, it's because I was born that way, right? You gotta see past all that. And you just gotta see, like, it's you. Like, you are the one that's creating that. You are the one who's you are the architect of your life, right? Basically, you're the architect of your life. And whatever you're unhappy about is because you're unhappy with it. You can create your own reality in that. If you just keep saying to yourself, oh, I'm a good looking dude, right? I'm very attractive. You're gonna look in the mirror and see yourself as very good looking and very attractive. And what's that gonna do? When you see people and you judge them, right? When we see people and judge them, basically we judge others on the way that we feel about ourselves, right? So if we feel ourselves lacking, if we feel ourselves not being anything, we're gonna see others as lacking. We're gonna see others as not being anything. If you see yourself as fat, when you look at other people, the first thing you're gonna notice is they're fat, right? Oh, look at this fat guy. Look at this fat guy. It's because you feel fat. If you feel someone's skinny, you're gonna be like, oh, look at this skinny guy. Look at this skinny person. You're judging them for being skinny. If you see someone's ugly, you're like, oh, look at this ugly guy. Like, for me, I never judge anyone as skinny because I always want to be skinny because I feel like I'm fat. So I see fat people and I judge them because I'm projecting my own insecurities onto them, right? Like, even if someone is skinny, I'll be like, oh, you're fat, even though they're skinny. Even if, like, because I don't even believe in anyone being stupid, but I would look at someone and be like, oh, you're stupid. It's because I feel like I'm smarter than everyone. And, you know, like, that's not a nice way to live life, because you understand that people are people. And there's this book I was reading, it's called The Art of Communication, and it's basically explaining how, like, the best way to, like, overcome all these judgments is first to work on yourself, and to, like, when you see people, you just understand, like, I see the Buddha in you, right? Like, that's what the book says. It says when you see them, you say, I see the Buddha in you. I try to use it, but the way that it works for me is that I don't know, like, it's not very effective for me because I haven't practiced it enough yet, and I don't know, I just don't have that full faith in it yet, right? Like, I understand the principle of it, and I try to, like, I try to always see people as beautiful, right? Because I see myself as beautiful. So I say, like, whenever I see people, I'm like, oh, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. And I notice that every time that, the more I believe that I'm beautiful, the easier it is to look at someone else and say that they're beautiful, right? So it's all about, like, it's like if all your life, right, you've been saying, oh, I'm ugly, right? You just add that on to all the uglies in your life, right? Like, so let's say that every single day of your life, let's say you've lived like 10,000 days, and every day you say, you look in the mirror and you say, I'm ugly. That's 10,000 I'm uglies. But if you say, I'm beautiful, like, that, imagine like a creature that has 10,000 life, like, has 10,000 HP, and you gotta kill it, right? And every time you say I'm beautiful, it's like one life gone, one life gone. So you just gotta keep saying to yourself, I'm beautiful, until you get to 0, I'm uglies, right? Until you get to the 0, I'm uglies. Once you get to the 0, I'm uglies, then you say I'm beautiful, and you actually start believing it. And then when you believe it, you'll see other people as beautiful, and they'll be attracted to you. Because you attract what you are, right? You attract what you are. So if you are beautiful, you will attract beautiful people. So that being said, I'm gonna end the video here. Like the video, comment below what you think, subscribe if you're new. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.